If you're a music producer, stuck working in a job that you hate, relying on inconsistent placement money, or stressed that your music isn't paying the bills, then this video is for you, because I was in the exact same spot. And now I've worked with some of the biggest artists in the game. Gunna, Tory Lanez, Lil Keed, to name a few, have generated over $600,000 as a music producer, and now traveling the world to places like New York, LA, Miami, Paris, while living in London from Australia. And the crazy thing is, music didn't pay for any of it. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact path that I took to make consistent money as a music producer without relying on placements, going viral, or beat sales. So this is the hidden path that I use to make around $4,000 to $6,000 consistently a month without placements. And so if you've seen my previous video, you'll probably already know what it is. But who am I? So this is just a bit of backstory. In the past 6 months, I've generated around $360,000 in sales. And I've worked with major influencers. I'm sure everyone knows who Brez Scales is, massive. And this is someone I used to work for back in the day, Mike Chang. And this is a screenshot, literally happened Monday. So already slinging deals day one. Happy Money Monday. This was from my coworker. And this is just a couple invoices from the past couple of months. So in July, 6,000, August, 4.5, September, pretty much $6,000 with bonuses. So if you don't know what it is, it's sales. And so now you might be thinking, oh, I know sales. I've watched Wolf of Wall Street. Sales is very slimy, pushy, aggressive. It's a scam. It's very manipulative. You're stealing money. You're stealing grandma's credit cards and paying for your expenses on it. But that's old school sales. This is literally what Wolf of Wall Street is. And that's the old school way of selling. So what is the new school way of selling? Ultimately, sales is just having a genuine conversation and helping people make the best decision for them, whether that's a yes or a no. If it is a no, giving them value and pointing them in the right direction. You can also view sales as a transformation from point A, their current situation, and getting them from point B, their desired situation. And specifically, what I do is remote high ticket sales. So what is high ticket sales? Essentially, you work for a creator, influencer, or business, such as these guys, Brez Scales and Mike Chang, and you sell their goods and services. And the price points really can vary from around 1K all the way to 20K plus. The highest thing I've ever sold was 20K. And so, as you can see here in this bell graph that I created, 10% of people will never buy. So no matter what you sell, you could be selling their dream life, their dream product, the dream car, for example. 10% of people will just never buy. And also on the opposite is 10% of people will always buy. You could be selling shit and they will buy no matter what. But in between that 20% is 80% of people need help getting over the line. And so that's where you come in as a salesperson. So there's 3 types of people in high ticket sales. The first one is a DM setter. So he's a conversation starter. I'm sure you've seen people on Instagram, on their stories or on their bio, they say, DM me the word freedom or DM me the word music to get some more information. So you'll be speaking with a DM setter. So their job, depending on how big they are, so their job is to take cold or warm people and turn them into booked call for the closers. And so how do they get paid? Is they get paid typically 5% of a deal size. So if it's, let's say, $10,000 or let's say $5,000, they'll get paid, I think if my math is right, $50. So, and then sometimes they do get a base pay. The next one above from the DM setter is the appointment setter. So let's say you enter in your information on a webinar or for a product or something like that, and you have your phone number. What they're going to do is give you a call. So they'll talk to the leads before the closer. So their job is to qualify someone. And usually in sales, we call it BANT. So budget, authority, need, and timing. So do they have the budget for the product? Do they have the authority? Like, are they the sole decision maker? Do they have a business partner? Do they have a wife that should be on the call? Or a partner on the call? Or need? Do they have a need for it? Is this something that they're willing, like they have a burning desire for? And timing. Obviously, if this were to make sense, would you like to get started now? That type of time. Or do they want to get started in 6 months? That type of thing. And if they qualify for BANT and they hit all the criteria, then they get passed off to the closer. So with appointment setters, they typically get paid around 5% of a deal size. Once again, sometimes they get a base. And here's the fun part. This is what I'm at, the closer. So These are the real deal makers. So they're going to run usually around a 45 to 60-minute sales convo or sales call and present the offer. It is also hard, but it is the highest paid. So typically it's 10% of the deal size. So for example, if you're selling a $20,000 product or service, you get 10% of that, which is $2,000 in commission. That's not too bad for a 45-minute call. So you might have some questions like, oh, I really want to do this now, but I don't have any experience. So with me, I got started with no experience. The only thing you really need is a willingness to learn and be coachable. I came from working at KFC and working at a retail job where it technically wasn't sales, but I was open to it and I was being coached by some of the best. And therefore, you don't really need to start off with any experience. And so some of the top closers that I know who are doing 10K plus a month, one of them came from nursing and the other was a D1 baseball athlete. That just shows that you don't need to come from a sales background or have sales experience. So the next question is, can I really make between 5 and 10K a month? Yes, the answer is yes, but not overnight. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to make $10,000 your first call. The main things that you're going to need is, number one, a good offer with consistent lead flow, good training, and a willingness to get better. And a bonus one is I put a good mindset, because if you don't believe that you can make 10K a month, then you're never going to get there. And also when it comes to your team and you have conviction in the offer and what you're selling, you're going to sell at a higher rate. So that's really what you need to get to that 5 to 10K a month. And so now you might be asking, how long does it take to get good? Everything really depends on the person and how hungry they are at the end of the day. But usually around 60 to 90 days to start performing at a solid level. I would say the first month or so is getting you the fundamentals of sales. What is sales? How do you do it? That type of thing. And getting you on an offer, which is the most important part, because the training will begin there. And obviously at that 60 to 90 days, you can expedite it through mentorship and coaching. So that's how long it takes to get good. And I'm not saying between 60 and 90 days, you're going to be making 10K a month, but you should be looking to get at a good, decent beginner level at that point. And so, as I mentioned before, landing your role is one of the most important things, because once you get on an offer, that's when you can really start putting in the reps, putting shots on the board and improving your skills as a closer or as in sales. So how long does it take to get your first role? If you really put in the reps, which is around 1 to 2 hours a day, applying and sending high quality applications and doing the work, around 2 to 4 weeks. Obviously, some people more, and I've seen some people in my mentorship get jobs within 1 week or less. So just wanted to show you this. Man, just landed my second role after an interview a few minutes ago. It's been like, a month here. So he got his within a month. And I just wanted to show you that some people have quit their day jobs to go into sales full-time. So cheeky little win. I put in my notice for my 9 to 5 to go full-time with sales. So last day, 27th of this month, which is insane. People are quitting their jobs to go full-time in sales. And that means you can do it too. So how much can I really make? So once again, it all depends on your skill, role, and offer. As an appointment setter, you can really make, as a DM and appointment setter, you can really make from around 1 to 5K a month. Some people doing more, some people doing less. And as a closer, once again, you can make between 4 and 30K a month plus. I know people doing 50K a month just from closing. So this is a setter. He had his best day, which is $1,700 in cash. So if you were to say 5% of that, I think if my math is correct, that's around $850 just in one day as an appointment setter. And then on the alternative, here is a closer, quick $2,400 in 3 days. So he closed 3 deals in 3 days. So kind of crazy to see how much money that you can make in such a small period of time. Like imagine trying to make $2,400 off music in 3 days. Kind of crazy, right? So now you might be wondering, will this take away from my music? No, this gives you more time for your music, for me as well. For me, as an example, so most producers will work a typical 9 to 5 or work a day job, making like, let's say, a couple $100 a week. But imagine if you made $2,400 in 3 days. That's more than some people what they make in a month in 3 days. So working less hours as well. So it also gives you the time, financial, and location freedom. Like I'm able to do all of this while traveling to New York, Miami, Paris, London. So it gives you that location freedom. I'll show you a photo of some guy later on who's doing this remotely in a coffee shop in South Africa. So it lets you work remotely, fewer hours, and control your schedule. For me, the good thing about high ticket sales is I work from, let's say I get up at 8, go to the gym, and really from around 9 o'clock till 2 p.m. is my music time. Every single day, I get to focus on music and what I want to do in that time. And then from around 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. is my sales time. And then if someone doesn't show up for a call, I might do some sales work, I might do some networking, might show up, might do some music work. So really gives me that time, location, and financial freedom. So some people might be asking, what if I'm introverted? And it's actually better that you are introvert because you speak less. And they tend to do better because sales is 80% listening and 20% talking. You have two ears and one mouth for a reason. So if you're calm and asking good questions, then you'll crush compared to you're bombarding them, you're talking, which is just going to lose a sale because you're speaking more. So you might be asking now, how much time do I need per day? Once again, this all is depending on the person, where you're at, and where you want to go. So at the start, getting your first job going to be the most important thing. So you can expect to put in around 1 to 2 hours a day of applying for these jobs, sending, recording looms, and all of that. Next, let's say you get on a DM setter position. Depending on how big the offer is, you can look to put in 2 to 5 hours a day as an appointment phone setter, 3 to 6, and as a closer, which is the most hardest but most rewarding, is between 4 and 7 hours a day. So obviously it all depends on the person and your role, but this is a kind of like a high level overview. And going back to, okay, cool, I want to get a job, but I don't have experience. So the main thing is if you show up in a professional manner, understand the fundamentals that I will teach you on this channel, show that you are hungry, and link your life experiences to sales, then you don't need any experience. Once again, I had no sales experience when I got my first job. Companies really care more about the mindset, communication, and the coachability and your energy that you bring. If they can tell that you're enthusiastic, you're willing to learn, and you are hungry, and you show that through your energy, compared to a Debbie Downer who's, I don't know about sales, this and this, they're going to hire you over the person who has experience. And sometimes having no experience is better than experience because it is so much harder unlearning than it is learning from scratch, being a sponge. So sometimes people would rather hire someone who has no experience but is super hungry than who has experience but is not hungry. So no, you don't need to have any experience. Now you might be asking, seeing as I've reiterated that finding a job is the most important part. So there is a couple ways that you can do it. Reaching out on IG is something that I would recommend, sending a simple message as, hey, are you looking for closers? Are you looking for setters? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to create a full video on how to land a role. Websites that I would recommend is RepSelect. I really recommend that website. They post job positions every single day. So I would recommend that. You can also join paid and free sales communities on Skool and like Facebook groups. I wouldn't really recommend Facebook just because there's a lot of scams going on there. Say free sales communities, they're good. The offers aren't really great. Obviously, the paid communities are higher quality. You can also apply for sales pipelines, such as Net Revenue. I know a ton of people who have been on Net Revenue, so you can apply for that as well. I got my first job through Indeed, if I remember correctly, which is a job searching place in Australia. But you can also use LinkedIn, which I've found a couple positions there. So you can use any job searching places. So this is just a couple of examples of the paid community that I'm in, where they're doing 17 offers hiring, 19 offers hiring. So every day they're posting different offers that I can apply to. So once again, I will make a full video, what to say, how to say, what to put in your Loom video, what to say on job applications. I'm going to make a full video on that. So ultimately, why sales? Why did I choose sales? A little bit of backstory. I tried the drop shipping. I tried the SMMA. It didn't really work. I wanted a job where I could transfer the skills into any industry. And at the end of the day, sales and communication is the foundation of life. You're always selling something, whether you're on a date with a girl or a guy, whether you're selling beats to an artist, or on a job interview, you're selling yourself. So it is one of the most important and transferable, also one of the most highest paying skills that you can learn. Sales also gives you the ability to have time, location, and financial freedom, which it has given me, and I'm sure it can do the same for you. And so, why I do sales is I use the money that I make from sales to fund my lifestyle. If it wasn't from sales, I wouldn't be able to meet Nico Barron in his studio. This is me chilling in Miami by the pool. This is me in New York. Like, if it wasn't for sales, I wouldn't be able to do that. And so, going back to what I was saying before, sales allowing you to work from places like this. This is South Africa. So it just shows you the power of what sales can do for you and your life if you truly apply yourself to it. So if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Just show me that there is a market for it and that people are looking to get into sales. So let me know, comment down any questions you have below. I'll be sure to reply to all of them, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.